Alright, now this is for sure the final video because I have to study too. Alright, so in the beginning we made this, and these are all the classes that I'm aware that you're taking right now. And so we have history, algebra, physics, personal finances, English, and Spanish. Alright, so when you're getting a lecture, it's kind of like, what am I going to write down when I'm getting lectured about math? Okay, you're not going to sit there and you're not going to write down every math problem. You're not going to write down every example. You're going to write down things like quadratic equation. You're going to write down things like exponents. Just whatever terms they throw your way. Just terms. When it comes to things like algebra, it's going to be just terms. When it comes to things like physics, it's going to be terms. Sometimes they'll throw in scientists. You can go ahead and write those names down. Whatever you think is important. But never under any circumstances write down an example during a lecture. Don't write down an example during a lecture. Write down what the example is about. So if it's about exponents, if there's an example about exponents, just write down exponents and then pay attention to the example. Okay? Don't spend the whole time trying to copy it down. Make your focus on the example and then just write down what the example was about. Exponents, quadratic equation. I honestly don't remember what Algebra 1 really has in it, but never, ever, ever take the time to copy an example the first time you see it. If you get to it and you have step 1 done and you write down and you had you wrote down exponents example, but you don't remember how to do exponents, make sure that when you get to step 2, when you're writing down on the lined piece of paper, that if you can't think of a way to do it, that you write it down, okay? Make sure that this is the place to write your examples, after the lecture. If you cannot remember how to do something after the lecture, you're going to write your examples down for math and physics and finances or whatever on here, but not during the lecture. If you have to go back, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, but don't do it during the lecture. You need to focus on it completely when they're explaining it to you. If you have to go back, then it'll make sense even faster than before, okay? So those are for things like math. And then when you get to things like English and Spanish, there's a lot of vocabulary. Just write down the word. Don't worry about the definition until you get to step 2. Just write down, let's see, the word. If they do examples, just like math, sometimes they have those big long sentences. You got to break them down. Write down what it is. Write down what the word is, what the phrase is. If you need to know what a verb or a noun is. For example, I know it gets more complicated as you get into high school and stuff. This is all just an example. Just write down basic ideas. No examples get written down the first time you see it. Do not take the time to write down an example because it's not going to help you at that time. The only thing that's going to help you is the fact that you write down that you saw an example of a verb being used. So write down EX, verb. Then you know that it means example of a verb. And if you don't remember what that example is off the top of your head of a verb, when you're at step 2, that means you need to go back to the video, watch it again, okay? And then step 3, like I said again, I'm reiterating this, I know, over and over again, you're probably annoyed right now, but step 3 is just the same thing from step 1 and step 2, but it's just the word, okay? So your examples don't go on here either, okay? If you get to this part and you're studying for your final and you don't recognize something on these cards, be it what it may, you have this to refer to, okay? So if you have any questions at all over why you need any supply, every single supply I used, and there's a good reason for it. I'm just going to turn this around so you can see all the books that I have read and used this method over, and they're huge. If you see that pile of books, that is everything that, well, not even everything, that's part of it. Most of it that I have studied, and I've used this, and it works, okay? I'm telling you it works. If it works for me for those giant textbooks, it will work for you on your online course. I can promise you that. If you don't understand any part of this process, call me over the phone and I'll explain it to you then, all right? But I really strongly believe that this will help you because, like I said before, step 1 helps you focus on the class, just a note. Step 2 is right after the class for that 20 to 30 minutes that you're copying this down for whatever class you just had. That triggers your short-term memory, okay? And once it's in your short-term memory and then you're reviewing this step 3 is your long-term memory. And if you have that, you're going to be golden for your final. I can promise you that. I am an expert test taker. I tutor lots and lots and lots of people here. I spend all my time doing that. And of course decorating my apartment, as you can probably see in the background. But please don't I'm helping people study and get through this nursing course, and the least I can do is help my sister get through high school. So please don't hesitate to call me. I know I seem busy, and honestly, a lot of the time I am, but I'm never too busy to help you out, okay? So just call me. Call me. Honestly, my phone screams at me a lot louder than my email does, so please don't get upset if I don't email you back. I'm about to take the biggest test of my nursing career, so I'm going to be doing a lot of these note cards myself. I'm going to be doing a lot of studying. So please, don't feel like I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. It's just, I'm going to be busy over the next 3 months. So I really hope this helped, and I love you. I'm going to send these as soon as I can so that you can watch these, and hopefully you can watch them soon. I'll give Mom a call so that she knows that she has them. All right? I love you, and I miss you, and I really hope that this helps. Bye.